Open your ears and lube up your butthole. It's time for the What Do We Call It podcast. Here are your hosts, Jmann and Danny, the Midwest motherfuckers. Welcome to the What Do We Call It podcast. I'm Jmann.
I'm Danny.
Why'd you pause?
Make more work for you later.
You dick. So, what were you just showing me just now?
Oh, my Fitbit?
Your Fitbit.
That I got for Christmas.
And how's that working for you?
Well, I wish I had it on yesterday because there was like 9,000 stairs that I had to go up and down all day.
Yeah.
And I forgot it at home.
I just read some article where they said that Fitbits essentially take the fun out of exercising because people get obsessed with the number of steps they take. And they're just like, oh, if I'm not doing that amount, I'm not trying, or I'm going to go for this much amount. It turns the fun of exercising, or the idea of exercising, from a hobby into work.
I don't know about that. It's kind of cool. Mom and Dad got one. My little brother's got one.
Yeah.
So, like, you can do daily challenges and see who takes the most steps. Weekly challenges.
Yeah, but how do you know your mom's just not, like, sitting on the couch at home just...
I know. That's what I debate.
One leg.
Because she always loses. It's my dad that I'm suspicious of. Somehow, being retired... Mm-hmm. Sitting at home, he apparently takes more steps in a day than either me or my little brother at work.
Is he tied to the cat?
No, like you just said, I think he's just shaking it.
I would never have one just because I work out just about every day, and I don't have use for that info. The only way I would ever get one is if I was going to do something with it comically, and I just put it on my wrist and see how many strokes it takes to get me off, and then chart it for like a month. Just like a masturbation chart. Look, hey, Fitbit.com. Look what I did. It's the Jerk Me Off Faster Challenge.
What bit would you call that, though? Like, this is a zip bit. There's Fitbit.
Well, I guess I could use it when I'm playing with a chick's pussy. It could be the clit bit.
There you go. The stroke meter. The stroke counter.
The jackrabbit.
There you go. We gotta write Fitbit now.
Yeah.
Propose our idea.
It'll be like those old penthouse letters. Dear Fitbit, the other day I was wearing your product, and the mood came over me, and I started to touch myself, and by the time I was done, my wrist had gone up and down 487 times. I needed 3 tissues.
That's disgusting.
I went to Little Caesars yesterday. I could pull up to the drive-thru after work. I just wanted a pizza. I roll up, I roll down the window, and the girl that was working the window, it took her a second to get the fucking thing open. So we were off to just a great start with her not being able to engage me.
Them windows are technical.
Yeah, well, she looked dumb as fuck, but she was really pretty. So I'm like, well, that's why you work here. So I'm like, can I get cheese pizza? She's like, what? I'm like, cheese pizza.
First of all,
have one available?
Cheese pizza is the stupidest thing ever. I'm just going to put my 2 cents in on that. Get some fucking toppings.
The point is that it's only $5 for the cheese pizza. And
you're so lazy that you had them put the sauce inside the circle breadstick.
I'm fine with that. It was all about my convenience, not about doing work.
Don't call it a pizza.
I don't cook. Like, really ever.
Neither do I, but...
I microwave.
There's laws on pizzas.
There's laws.
As soon as you put chicken on a pizza, it's no longer a pizza. Or hamburger pizza, cheeseburger pizza, those are not pizzas. Stop calling them pizzas.
What about if somebody puts, like, venison?
What kind of sauce?
I don't fucking know. I'm not a hunter and I don't eat venison. I'm just throwing out random...
Gotta be red sauce. If you throw that white shit on there, again, it's no longer a pizza.
What if it's like somebody that migrated here from Africa and they throw a bunch of bush meat on there? You know that's like any one of a number of dozens of animals. It's just random. If it's not like caribou or wildebeest, it's bush meat.
It all comes down to the sauce. Red sauce, pizza. White sauce, not a pizza.
Giggity. So tell me about your trip to SA the other day. I've been waiting like a week to hear about.
It's not even that great, but you guys have a new SA down the road, so I thought I'd stop there. I'd walk in, get some crap, whatever, and then I'm checking out, and I happened to catch the name tag of the cashier. And she had quite a name.
What was her name?
Her name was Marvelous.
I wonder if it's just something where like they let her pick what she put in the name tag.
I was wondering that too.
If it has to be their real name.
Right. I guess I don't know. I guess it probably depends on each boss, but if her parents really named her that, I'm not surprised she's working at SA.
Well, I'm just going to go out on a limb and guess that she is black.
Yes.
So if you asked her about her name, you would probably get this response. If you were like, Marvelous, is that your real name? She'd be like, the fuck you think?
I'd be a racist.
I just was asking if that was your name.
Did your mom and dad give you that name?
Anytime you ask a black person anything about themselves, it's not hard for it to turn into something quasi-racist. It's not hard to paint yourself into a corner. I had this inmate like a month ago, and we were making fun of some of the football players' names in college. Like, there's this dude that plays for, I think, the Giants now, and his first name is Barkevius. Barkevius.
What the fuck?
And he said, I'm just going to do a vocal impression. He's like, the thing about it is, if the more fucked up your name is, the better the odds are that your parents were teenagers when they had you. And I'm like, oh my God, that's fucking brilliant.
Makes sense.
It does make sense. And it's not racist because it's statistical information.
Marvelous.
What else is going on? So 9,000 steps. So what the fuck are you doing? Like refurbishing an entire church?
Do floors. Well, like I said, yesterday there was like 9,000 steps, yes.
Okay, what about the old broad today, though?
Oh, dude, this is like the third day I've been at this house. I started it on Tuesday. And it's a combination of a wacky, retired lady. First of all, I gotta tell you where the house is. The house is downtown St. Paul. Well, just outside of downtown. It's off of Summit. Do you know anything about Summit?
The shithole area with subsidized housing?
No.
It's a ritzy area.
This lady's house is like a block away from the governor's mansion. Summit is an old part of St. Paul with very nice old mansions.
So there's money.
There's money.
Okay.
She's single. I don't know where her husband went or died, and she just retired apparently. And then the contractor, another fuckhead. This guy. Tuesday, I started it. Couldn't finish because she was picking shit, and there was boards that apparently ended up having to be replaced because she didn't like them. And the contractor was already headed up to here with her on Tuesday. So wrap it up for Tuesday. Go back, grab my equipment on Wednesday. Installer goes there Wednesday, does all the patching, whatever. I go there today to finish sanding and stain it. Well, they had a granite guy coming in, so I couldn't do shit in the hall, which was the last piece I had to sand. They didn't get there until noon.
Dicks.
Yeah, well, first, all morning, she just talked my ear off, and she was standing over me the entire time. What's that? It's a compressor. What are you going to do with that for? Nail the board into the floor. Oh, what's that? That's the machine. That's the sander. That's a different one than you had last time. It's like, go the fuck away, lady. I can't do shit with you just hovering over me all day. I didn't say that to her.
She's lonely.
Right, but then she's like, dude, I guess a lot of this don't make sense unless you're a floor guy. But anyway, fast forward back to the contractor. The granite guys leave. Half the granite team leaves in their big granite truck for like 45 minutes. During that 45 minutes, the contractor and the other half of the granite guys were parked in their Suburban behind my van, blocking me in and not doing shit. All work has ceased. Like, dead.
Just a big lunch hour circle jerk going on in the back of the van with a
apparently. And the contractor he's been pushing us to get this job done. So we're behind. Well, you fucking wonder why you're behind, dude. I sat for 3 hours waiting to go up and finish.
God.
At the end of the third hour, I'm like, you guys almost done? And he's like, oh, actually, the thing is, we're kind of just getting started. After I've been sitting for 3 hours.
Motherfucker.
Dude, I was so pissed. We fucking ended up wrapping it up, and apparently we get tomorrow by ourselves.
Here's my takeaway from that story. With her chatting your ear off and you not knowing where her husband is, did you look at any pictures on the walls?
Well, no, because there wasn't really any in the little spot that I had to go through the house.
Here's my theory. This is a woman who is very lonely and has money to leave to someone. And it probably wouldn't take you much work to work your way into her good graces to get on that will.
To be honest with you, I think that's what the contractor's got going on.
Oh, you think he beat you to it?
Yes.
Like he's already trying to fucking knock the dust off?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's fine
she's
by
old
me.
and she smells a bit, but, she likes it when the whole team
But then again, here,
doubles up on her.
throw you for another loop. She drives a Subaru.
What the fuck?
She might play for the other team, dude.
I guess when I think lesbians, I don't think Subarus.
What do you think?
I think they're driving trucks.
No.
I'm thinking butch lesbians, like lumberjack dykes with short haircuts that wear
Subaru
flannel
drivers.
and jeans and go to Home Depot 4 times a week.
Subaru drivers. Next time you're on the road and you see a Subaru, look at the driver. She'll be a middle to late-aged, short-haired female dyke.
I'm always too busy looking out for Audis because those fuckers drive like they own the road.
Depends on what kind of Audi it is.
20 over the limit, no blinker, almost run you off the goddamn road because they're texting. And you're like, oh, okay, you're an Audi. That makes sense. I hope you crash and then burn half to death.
Nothing says
Only
douchebag more than a BMW, though. Or a Porsche.
Ugh.
If you see a Porsche come up alongside you, you know that's a douchebag. I'm right 99.9% of the time.
Well, I'm glad you had interesting days at work because my last few have been boring as hell. Like nothing funny, nothing worth relating, nothing at all.
You don't start, trying to fuck with the inmates?
No, well, some guy said something about a broken tooth, which then obviously I was like, okay, gonna use it for the show. So, things you learn when you work in a jail. So many inmates have fucked up teeth. It's ridiculous. And they don't take care of their mouth when they're out doping or just living on the outs because they don't take the time to go actually spend money on good stuff, like taking care of their body. So they come in and they expect to get all of their dental problems fixed the minute they're incarcerated. And, oh, I've got a toothache. I've got an abscess. I need to go to the dentist. I need to go to the emergency room. Like, there's a fucking dentist in the back hallway of the emergency room with a giant pair of pliers just waiting for the teeth monsters to come walking in to get their jaw jacks fixed. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, if you would have taken care of that a long time ago and not done so much crank, you wouldn't have this problem.
It's the crank. That's definitely what's fucks most of them up.
And all they're whining and pissing and moaning about it. I just want to be like, you know what? This is your own fucking fault. Shut up.
How much of it do you think is them thinking that they're going to get some Vicodin? Because they're not, but...
25%.
Oh, yeah?
It's different with the people that are med-seeking, I can tell that, because they have these random injuries with these horseshit alibis or explanations how they transpired. But like the people with the bad teeth, they want to genuinely get the fucking teeth out.
Yeah. Well, it's probably their only opportunity. They probably don't have dental insurance.
Well, what really got me is this dude that had fucked up teeth. He comes around the corner. He'd like just belched, and I walked through the burp cloud, and I was like, oh, God. And it was early in the morning. And if you think morning breath is bad, morning meth mouth breath is a fucking kid. Like, it will make your eyes almost roll back into your goddamn head. I can't even compare it to another smell. It's just, think of morning breath mixed with rotting food scraps. It's so gross. And some of these dudes, they have like 2 teeth left. 2.
They're, you know, those meth heads are proud of that shit.
Oh, and then they all come back and they have like a rack of fucking falsies. Or some of them are like, well, I'm just going to get dental implants.
I've heard one say one time, he pulled his tooth out and he's like, oh, thank God. Gotta go smoke another one.
Really?
And he sounded totally enthused about it. I'm like, oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
You're fucked.
Well, you know who's paying for these teeth to get fixed?
Oh, yeah.
The taxpayers.
Yeah.
Us bastards.
Of course.
What's another thing I learned recently at work?
Should we shift over to Ask a Jailer?
Yes, we're going to start a new segment that Danny came up with, like, Ask a Jailer. Obviously, it's me.
Yeah. Well, everybody always wants to ask questions and shit, and there's times to and times not to. And this is a good time, too.
It is.
We
It's
can
good.
really ask you anything.
Having more segments makes this a lot easier, because then we don't really have to plan for just like, oh, by the way, segment. Awesome. So, fire away.
Oh, which way should I go first here?
Question number 1.
Do some prisoners prefer solitary over dealing with the other inmates? Did you see some people trying to get solitary, or...
No. The only people that have been in solitary are the people that are like violent threats, or they get too many violations or start some shit, or the severely mentally ill. Because the solitary, it's basically just like a seg unit, and then there's a door with a window, and then a concrete slab with a mattress and sheets, and then a toilet and a sink, and that's all it is. So they get books, but that they get very little human interaction, except for every so often we come by to say hi, or drop a tray for them to eat.
Right on.
And let them out of there to like sit there and eat. But we have to do it one at a time because we can't let the people in the different seg cells out by each other in case somebody fucking stabs somebody.
Right.
So solitary, you might think, oh, well, I guess it'd be peaceful. You wouldn't have to worry about the other inmates. Yeah, true. You wouldn't have to sit there and deal with everybody else being all annoying. But you're sitting there by yourself with almost no mental stimulation. Your mind is going to eat itself alive.
Especially if it's a fragile mind to begin with, which I'm assuming a lot of the people in there have fragile minds to begin with.
Oh, yeah. Question number 2.
Do famous or high-profile inmates get special treatment or privilege?
No, they shouldn't. But, I mean, if you call special privilege being shifted between 13 facilities in 3 years, then yeah, Denny Hecker's got plenty of special treatment. You know, Tom Petters, too. That motherfucker was up in Sherburne County Jail for a while. They kept him away from all his contacts, and I'm pretty sure he never made it to Gen Pop. I think he stayed in like a special living unit to protect him from all the real criminals because they're a semi-federal facility where they house for the marshals.
Yeah.
And years ago, some guy was like a drunk driver or something or maybe driving after revocation, and he gets stuck in a cell with a fucking maniac who ripped the handrail for the toilet off the wall in their cell and beat him to death. And they got sued to oblivion. But yeah, I mean, if you're somebody semi-famous or if you're like just some Joe Blow drunk or a sex offender, I got to treat you all the same. Nobody's be getting special treatment at all. Question number 3.
Have you ever run into a former inmate in the streets that acted tough while he was locked up and then all of a sudden had a change of heart and was all like, hey buddy,
There's a couple stories. There was one time I was at a bar, and this dude walked up. He's like, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" I'm like, "Yeah, hi." I didn't want to talk to him. So, and then he's like, talking to my buddy I'm with. He's like, "Oh, you got to loosen him up. Let's get him drunk." I'm like, "Okay, you don't touch me, for starters. You couldn't touch me in the facility. And if you knew me, you'd know that that was the worst possible fucking move you could have made. Like, oh, you got to mellow out." And I'm like, maybe you don't got to get all grabby like we're old fucking college buddies, dildo. You were incarcerated. I was your babysitter. We're not buds. And I had some guy try to get my attention going into the grocery store once, and I just fucking ignored him. Turned out that he was a nice guy, but he was just a loudmouth asshole.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to fucking deal with it. So I'll pretend I don't know who you are sometimes. And then there's times I'm at the store with my kids that I don't mention I have any in the facility. I lie and say, nope, I don't have any kids.
Yeah.
Not married.
Makes sense.
And then I'm pushing the cart, and this guy's like, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" I'm just like, fuck. Cover semi-blown. Although, and this is the best story of them, I was at a bar with my ex and two friends. And we went walking out of the bar. And my first friend makes it out to his car, and the one that was riding with us is like 10 feet in front of me and my ex. And my ex is 2 feet in front of me, and I hear some guy go, "Yeah, you're just a big pussy." And I'm thinking, who the fuck is he? "Yeah, I know you from this jail. You're just a big pussy." And I just froze, like right there. I just stopped, and I knew I was going to fuck with him. And my friend just goes, "Oh, shit." And he walks away. And my ex looks at me. I'm like, "Go to the car." I turned around. It was nighttime. There was one light outside the bar shining towards me, and he was standing kind of in the darkness. I just turned around and stared at him. I didn't say a fucking word for 5 seconds. Doesn't seem like a long amount of time, but when somebody's staring at you and you don't know what the reaction to some fucked up shit you just said is, that's nerve-wracking. And I just said, "What did you say?" I said, I said I wanted to thank you. I'm like, "Oh, you wanted to thank me? What did you want to thank me for?" Just everything you did for me." "Really? Because I could have sworn that you just called me a pussy." But no, I wanted to thank you for everything. "Well, what's your name?" Matt." I'm like, "Okay, Matt, well, good to see you, bud."
From tough guy to mega puss in 2 seconds.
Oh, he had the liquid courage going. I don't know if he thought I was just going to scamper off and be like, "Oh, no." I mean, who I am in there is a marginalized, much more laid-back version of who I really am in real life. I'm a misanthropist. I don't like most people.
Oh.
I really, really hate most of humanity for various reasons. And if I don't like you, I really don't want you to try to get my attention and fuck with me. Because guess what? I'm not a nice guy. I mean, I can be very nice. I'm a caring enough person if I need to be. But I'm not a nice guy. I will say the most unbelievably fucked up shit to your face.
The needle leans to asshole more often than not, right?
Yeah, but it's not because I do kind of get a small amount of joy out of it because people don't expect that out of you. They don't expect to hear you say something deplorable. So one time I'm outside of an ex-girlfriend's parents' house, and they had a conjoined driveway with the next-door neighbor. And the next-door neighbor's son, who's like an adult, who I suspected of ripping my ex-girlfriend's wallet off out of her car one time a few weeks prior, he starts cocking out of the mouth. And my reaction was, "Oh, really? Well, why don't you do the world a favor and go home, and I want you to run the tub, and then make yourself a sandwich, have a little snack, grab the toaster, go upstairs, and fucking kill yourself." And he's just looking at me like, "What?" I'm like, "Yes, go! Fucking kill yourself, please. Do me and your parents a favor. You've disappointed everybody you've ever probably known. You're a worthless sack of shit. You're in and out of jail. You're a drunk and a loser, and you're on SSI disability, and you don't deserve to be. You fucking cum stain. Please go inside and off yourself." And at that moment, my then-girlfriend's stepdad came outside and dragged me into the house.
Nice.
It's just how I am sometimes. You know, there was this verbal scrum between two female inmates one time. And one of them was in for a certain kind of charge that seemed way worse than it was. And this other girl called her a pervert. And I'm like, that's not fair. She's not a pervert. She's not a sex offender. I don't get that. So I went to the girl that was feeling bad about being called a pervert. I'm like, "Look, I just want you to know that don't sweat a goddamn thing that stupid bitch says. She flunked out of beauty school, all right? She works at Dairy Queen only because her mom is her boss. She frosts cakes for a living, and one day she's going to graduate to owner of that same store, maybe another one, only to go home at night and lay face down on a stained mattress in the back bedroom of a single wide trailer while some guy that can barely stand to look at the back of her head goes to town on her. And the chick's jaw just dropped. She's like, that was awesome. I'm like, well, I just didn't think you got a fair shake.
Hell yeah.
Question number 4.
How often? Now this kind of goes back to the very first what things you learn in jail, kind of. But so we'll modify it a little bit. But
he's referring to the cum stench in the shower of people whacking it.
Masturbation. How often do you catch inmates going to town on themselves?
Never.
Never.
Well,
that's good.
If you're going to masturbate in a correctional facility, you got to know what you're doing.
I
think they only do it in the shower because you're not going to do it in your room because that's a PREA violation. That'll land you locked up down in solitary in a different facility that's of a higher class of security than mine.
I've been incarcerated before. I'm pretty sure one of the dudes in the pod was going to town.
Was he? Oh, I'm sure there's people that are like chronic masturbators that can't keep their fucking hands off each other. They just go to town, boom, 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 all day long, and they don't want to let go of their cock because it's like their own private worry stone. They're afraid that if they stop doing it, it'll fall off or disappear. So they just always got their dick in their hand.
How about
Question number 5.
Do the facilities put saltpeter or anything in their food to keep the males from being able to achieve an erection while being locked up?
Not where I'm at. You know where they probably do that shit
Prison.
is at the Chomo prison up in Moose Lake.
Maybe they should stop and the chomos can just fuck themselves.
Or maybe, like in our previous episode, we should just execute the pricks so they wouldn't even have to worry about feeding them to keep them docile and flaccid.
Yes, that's clearly the better option.
But all those $90,000 a year psychologists wouldn't have jobs and working in a facility doing cakewalk case studies of taking down notes of how many different little girls' birthday parties this guy that used to dress up as a clown whipped his dick out. They'd have to go get a real fucking job. Is there another one?
There is.
Question number 6.
How common is it for guards to smuggle in contraband?
Never where I'm at.
Never?
No.
How about in the system? Have you ever heard of others?
I heard from a guy that
Rumors?
I worked with who used to work in another state, and he worked at a Supermax facility in Michigan, Jackson State Prison.
Oh.
It is the worst prison in all of Michigan. And he's like, you don't walk around there around the corners without checking out where you're going. He's like, you will get stabbed. And he talked about how there were people he worked with that smuggled some shit in from time to time. And then somebody, and I don't know, I have to assume this was a female guard that did this, took their work pants and cut them down the legs and then put Velcro on them. So they were like tearaway pants so they could quick get fucked.
Well, that's not really contraband. Well, I guess it is.
It's contraband pussy and you're going away for a sex crime.
Oh.
They're all inmates, no matter if they say, yeah, they want to fuck you or not, they're a protected class of people. They're vulnerable, and per PREA, the Prison Rape Elimination Act, no means no, and yes is never okay. Although, I will say there was a little jingle of a song that I heard this guy sing one time, and it got stuck in my head, and it went a little something like, PREA, 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 we practice every day, and just because you don't say no, it doesn't mean you're gay. I'm going to leave that out and probably make like 7 verses, but if you couldn't tell, that's the tune of Dreidel, Dreidel, Dreidel.
Well.
Is there another one?
Yeah. Have you ever been afraid while working?
Question number 7. Have I ever been afraid while working? No.
No, I didn't think so.
I'm more afraid of getting in trouble by the government that I work for.
You're more afraid of them fucking you over.
Yeah, because they have the power, and I would have to fund my own legal defense, no matter how strong of a union you have. And they have an endless supply of taxpayer dollars to fund their fuckery. So the money that people like me pay to them, they use to fuck me over for shit that I probably didn't even do just because they don't like me. And then I have to go on the defense because once you're the accused, it's an uphill battle. They say innocent till proven guilty, and the burden of proof is on the prosecution. No, the burden of proof is on you to not get fucked in the ass by Uncle Sam because he's got a hard-on for you. And they will. They will fuck your life up. And they don't care. You're just a number to them. No matter how hard you work, no matter what you do, one little slip up that could rub somebody the wrong way, even if it doesn't violate a specific policy. Because I mentioned the disciplinary procedures. They explain, like, what you did wrong and defining your behavior, and it's all extremely vague. So it falls into this giant catch-all net of, whatever, we'll throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. And you're just sitting there, like, trying to defend yourself with logic. And they take this hardline stance, like, they've never heard anybody try to rationalize any behavior like that ever before. And they're just like, well, no, I don't understand. Yes, you do. You're not a machine. I'm not a robot, and that's why I have thoughts and feelings, and people get offended at some of those feelings and thoughts when I vocalize them, but the problem is I don't just go around saying stuff like, ha ha, I feel this way, fuck your face. No, they ask you questions, you give them an answer, and if they don't like you, they're like, no, I'm going to use this against you. Well, fuck you for being a pussy. For starters, that's entrapment, and you should get dragged out into the street and gang beat with your own shoes. Not fists, shoes.
Tar and feather.
That's a little extreme. I think the shoes is a better metaphor because it'll leave shoe prints. Or maybe not. Maybe it's like beating somebody with like a sack full of oranges or a phone book. It doesn't leave any marks.
Maybe.
But the point being that, you know, people get so butthurt and they can get you in trouble and you didn't even do anything wrong. And the people that are standing over you, your handlers, your overlord, the government attorneys that are coming after you, they go home and probably do all the same shit. And it's this high and mighty hypocritical double standard that I can't believe you said anything like that. I swear to God. I just want to be like, tell me you've never heard of this. Tell me you've never laughed at a dirty joke. Tell me you've never laughed at a racist joke in your life. I would never. Fuck you. You're lying. You can't make an absolute statement like that. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
You could say, well, I don't find that funny. See, that is a qualitative statement, not a quantitative one like, I would never. You can't say that. I can't say right now that I would never have sex with a man, because I might be incarcerated someday myself for some shit that I didn't think I really did wrong that they fucked me over for. I won't have a choice, because unfortunately, I am only so big of a guy. I can only put up a fight against one guy, and if the one guy is like 3 times my size, well, I better hope that he at least gives me the benefit of a kiss on the forehead after he's done with me. You know, and he lets me sleep it off for a day and a half in between incidents so that my butthole has time to heal. Because good luck trying to take a comfortable shit for the 3 years you're locked up if you've got a constant state of random anal fissures.
Maybe he'll spit for you.
It's not enough. It's not. Oh my god. Oh my god. I saw this movie in the Red Box this summer that I thought was going to be total garbage, and it was way worse. And it starred Adrian Brody and that Hayden Christensen guy who played, Anakin Skywalker, the teenage and young adult version in the Star Wars prequel trilogies. Movie's called American Heist.
Oh yeah, I just watched that the other night.
Did you really? You know exactly what I'm talking about, where I'm going with this, don't you?
Yes. Let me see.
Tell me about your struggle.
Wait, okay. The first thing that threw me off was seeing Adrian Brody act like a gangster.
Right.
I'm like, my head hurt so bad in the first 2 minutes. I'm thinking, what the fuck's going on here?
He's got such a big nose that he feels like he should be in one of those Afrin commercials.
Well,
or Nasonex, where he's just playing the giant nose of the stuffed up person because he's got such a huge schnoz.
Well, and I don't really watch any Adrian Brody movies, but from clips and shit that I've seen, isn't he more of a proper actor? Wasn't he the pianist or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he just plays more of that kind of role more often than not. Than to see him go to Malibu's Most Wanted.
He was in Predators.
Really?
That one of like 5-6 years ago, where like multiple Predators came here, and it was like a Hunger Games style elimination tournament of all the Predators against each other and their prey.
Yeah. And
they had to like get off this alien planet they'd been transported to. That was the battleground. Yeah, he was in that one.
But is that where you were going anyway? His crazy gangster character?
Kind of. All right, so he's telling his brother, he's like, you don't know what I've been through. You don't know my struggle when I was in there. You don't know what they did to me, what they took away from me. Well, why don't you tell me? Why don't you tell me what they did? And all of a sudden he's crying. He goes from just being upset and like frothing with spit with anger to crying. He's like, they fucked me in the ass with toothpaste, man. They fucked me in the ass with toothpaste. You couldn't just say it one time. You had to say it twice. And I'm like, they fucked you in the ass with toothpaste. I had to hit pause on the DVD and just kind of process that. Not that somebody said that, but the image of getting fucked in the ass with, like, I just pictured 2 big black dudes on his skinny white ass with, like, a tube of Crest, squeezing it into his crack, and I'm thinking of the logistics of it, scientifically speaking. Now, I'm like, okay, toothpaste isn't like a lubricant. It's got some grit to it. The viscosity's not right for lubing a butthole up for sex. You want Vaseline. You want amyl nitrate. You want Kentucky jelly. You know, you don't... Really? I mean, is your bunghole minty fresh? Are you fighting cavities in your prison wallet?
80 grit sandpaper condom.
Oh, it's fucking... That had to both burn and sting with the... And then afterwards, the worst part is it hurts and it burns, but it still has a cooling effect. What kind of fresh hell is that? I mean, you already got raped, but to add insult to injury, now your farts are just going to be a constant minty reminder of what you just endured. And then you got to go tell the guards about, like, I need to go to the infirmary. Why? And then you show them your toothbrush is covered in blood and shit. What have you been doing with that? It's not what I did. It's what they did to me. They fucked me in the ass with toothpaste, man. God damn.
So what podcast number is this that we're on here? 16?
We're on episode 16.
16. You think we're getting better? I think we're getting better.
I think we're getting a lot better. I'm getting better at editing.
I'm getting better at not stuttering.
You
or
are.
mumbling.
You are.
I smoke more pot before the podcast now.
Well, that's good.
It helps.
That's always good.
I guarantee if you go back, I didn't smoke much in the beginning because I didn't know what was going on.
Go back in time to your DARE teacher and be like, you know what makes me better at some of the things I do? Drugs.
Yes. Dare, they don't even do Dare anymore, do they?
What's the point? All you get is a binder and a free fucking t-shirt that when you wear it, people...
their drug war, try to brainwash the kids young like they did to us.
Back in the day, I wouldn't be caught dead wearing my DARE shirt, but I had a friend that is a listener and one of our followers. And he wore DARE shirts constantly. He had like 3 of them.
Was he a skater?
No.
Oh, that was a skater thing to do.
He's a cool dude, but he wore the DARE shirt because he supported DARE. It sounds nerdy, but I was like cool with it because I was anti-drug too, but I didn't wear the DARE shirt because I didn't want to get my ass kicked. But he's a bigger guy than I was, and he went to different schools. So, I went to private school, and there were fewer kids, so you knew who was going to kick your ass. Him, he had more kids in the public schools. You didn't know where it was coming from. You might think somebody's kind of cool with you, and then suddenly, bam, they're whooping your ass. So the DARE shirt. Where were we going with this?
DARE don't exist anymore, does it?
DARE does not exist anymore.
Good.
All it did was teach me about drugs. It didn't make me want to do drugs, but it taught me about drugs. But the biggest thing I heard is people go, which has made me more curious about drugs.
Yeah, because I remember him talking about LSD and thinking, God damn, it could do that?
I guess.
I was probably 7 or 8 and already extremely curious as to what this LSD was.
Oh, I was 10. 7 or 8.
I think so. I want to say it was.
God,
it was
that's
elementary
dangerous,
school.
telling young kids that small about stuff. That's like in South Park when they had the teacher that was banging Kyle's brother, and then Mr. Garrison became the kindergarten teacher. He goes to teach the kindergarten kids how to put on a condom, and he takes out a banana, and he's like, first off, kids, what you got to do is you got to put the condom in your mouth. And I'm like, oh my God! No! They're 5! Fucking DARE. And sex ed. But, Danny, they told you that marijuana is a gateway drug.
Let's talk about that for a minute, shall we? Do you really think it is?
No, it's not, because you just smoke pot and it helps you. You're not going to go home and be like, wow, pot made me feel good. Well, time to go get some heroin.
No, but, okay, I think there is a bit of a correlation, though, because once you start smoking pot, you're introduced to people. So, one of them group of friends that you smoke pot with in the beginning is going to be into something else, and it is going to give you access to something else. But no,
not
you
a
don't
desire.
Smoke pot.
Access is not desire. That's peer pressure.
Exactly. You don't smoke pot and be like, oh goddamn, what's crack like? Let's try crack now. No, you smoke pot, and then you might have a crackhead smoking pot with you that says, hey, you want to try crack? Whatever. It's not a gateway drug. It's a gateway people.
Yeah, and they ferry you across the shores to darker horizons.
Luckily, my brain was always way more advanced than that. If I did something, it's because I wanted to.
Well, it had to be with all those different positions you were playing in football. Wide receiver, defensive end, kicker. Were there more, or was it just 3? Cornerback. Fuck you for being better at sports than me. Although, let's reference that pickup game of baseball we played that time.
Oh, were you fucking hit me?
Okay,
did that come off the end of the bat?
That came off the bat.
That's
so what
right.
happened was Danny invited me to play baseball. I hadn't played like a game of pickup baseball in forever. We were just doing batting practice, fucking around a local field nearby where
I was cranking
he and I
left
lived.
and right that day.
And he was hitting them pretty good, but I had to get used to actually hitting off a person versus like a batting cage pitching machine. So one of the pitches I don't know if you underhanded it or you just kind of just gave me like a softball wussy pitch over the plate, and I drilled the shit out of it, and it hit you in the right chest.
Yeah, but
I just fucking nailed. Well, yeah, because as it hits you, it could have took you back and you grabbed it against your body. Yeah, it was like the Matrix. Like you tried to catch the bullet, and I'm just like, oh fuck, I'm sorry. I'm like, oh Jesus Christ, is he gonna throw that back at my head now? I'm like, I'm sorry, and you're just like, it's fine. I could tell that you were pissed, but it's like, it's not my fault.
I wasn't pissed about it. It was stinging at the moment.
That was physics, and it's not my fault. And for that, I'm sorry.
I went on to play a couple of years later with the Kwamba Cubs after that. I quit the team, though.
Oh.
They're all fucking hillbilly assholes.
Ah.
I felt like Charlie Sheen in Major League.
Well, it's important to note that we never played another game of pickup baseball after that.
Might have to do that this summer.
For scheduling, yeah.
That
Fuck
shit was
yeah,
fun.
we're going to hit some balls. But you know what we can do right now is play another round of Would You Rather? So, number 1. Would you rather be hit by a train or crushed by a wrecking ball?
It comes down to variables. How fast the train going?
It's a speeding train.
Fuck yeah. And crush me with the train. Either one, that one's kind of lame because either one ain't that bad.
Well,
You're gonna die instantly.
maybe the train's gonna rip you apart, and it might crush your brain and kill you, or it might just make your body explode, and then your head's sitting there attached half to your torso while you're bleeding out, and you're just like, wow, this is fucking awful. But you can't say because your neck's ripped wide open.
Problem is, I just envision it being quick death. Either way.
Number 2, forced to cut off your balls with a hedge clippers, or your tongue with a sawzall.
Tongue with a saw.
I don't know.
I like my balls.
Yeah, but population control, and it's just a snip.
Dude, I ain't got kids. I'm 30, almost 32. I know how to population control myself.
Well, even the best laid plans. Number 3, would you rather get a hand job from the Human Torch of the Fantastic Four or Iceman of the X-Men?
I'd say Iceman, because then you just go numb, right?
Well, I thought that if you're getting one from Johnny Storm there, it's going to burn your dick off while he's doing it. But with Iceman, it's going to freeze your dick, and then hopefully it'll just snap off, and then it'll be over with.
Right.
You won't have to worry about your cock slowly melting in his hand.
Right, and with cold, you go numb.
Would you rather be raped by a long, skinny dick or a short, fat dick? Laughter's the appropriate response. Not horror. I mean, that long, skinny dick is probably going to fuck some shit up. It's probably going to go stab a few of your organs. You know, we're talking like a 9 or a 10-inch dick that's maybe as thick as perhaps like a caribou coffee straw.
I'm just thinking of the tearing that would cause.
The short, fat
Either
dick,
one.
You're crapping pancakes, dude. That's but
Get the walking shits.
The rest of you is intact.
I suppose.
Think of it as like a sexually facilitated episiotomy. And what do women always say about having children? It goes back. The hole goes back. Yeah, the hole does, but not your vaginal wall tissue that's all stretched as shit and doesn't have the same amount of striations and tightness therein. You didn't answer.
That one, I don't know. That was a tough one too, I guess.
Well, you gotta have an answer.
Small, wide one.
Okay. Are you asking me or telling me?
I'm just not sure.
Small, wide. Okay. I really love this one.
I don't spend a lot of my day thinking about being raped, so.
Well, neither do I. I came up with that one like when I was just talking to Rick on the phone 5 minutes ago.
But your detailed explanation was like you thought about this before, dude.
That's how my brain works, dude. The 1,000,000-mile-an-hour thought processes that produce all those fucked up dreams also make it so I have lightning quick reflexes like the Flash.
Don't blame the DMT for your homosexual tendencies.
I'm not. They're not tendencies. They're just thoughts. They're musings. I'm not like, I wonder what would happen if a guy stuck a really fat dick in my ass, but it was just, like a stub, like one of those little wiener roll-up midgies, or if it was like, I got stabbed by a guy with giant fucking telescope of a cock right in my ass. I'm just thinking of what's grosser, and I think I came up with most of these when I was taking a shit at work.
Right on.
Would you rather have dental work done by Muhammad Ali or a haircut by Stevie Wonder?
What year Muhammad Ali? Again, this shit makes a difference.
Muhammad Ali now. Just like Stevie Wonder now. Dental work. Drilling. Picking.
Yeah, you got a good chance of getting fucked up either way, huh?
Yeah, that's why. Okay, Rick said
at least you can tell Stevie to fucking, okay, here, just cut.
Rick said the problem with these is that there's no good answer. I'm like, that's the point, dude. They're all supposed to be a Sophie's choice.
Right.
You just have to rationalize. It's like in the Saw movies, like, how much blood are you willing to spill? Okay, well, am I going to dig this key out of my fucking eye, or am I going to let this giant bear trap on my head kill me? I'm probably just going to let the bear trap kill me, because digging out of my eye, holy shit. So you're going to go Stevie Wonder?
Yeah.
Would you rather, and let me explain this one, would you rather have a proctology exam by E.T., or have a noogie from The Incredible Hulk, where he's gnashing shit into your hair? Keep in mind that E.T., do you remember what his fingers look like? They're like 6 inches long and they light up at the end, dude. He's not just going to check your prostate. He's going to wrap his fingers around that shit and turn it like a doorknob a few times.
But see, I rationalize this as E.T.'s intelligent. So if he's just giving you the standard proctology exam, he ain't going any farther than he needs to go.
So, I mean, if he goes too deep, he's like, ouch, sorry. Sorry, Elliot. Too deep. Incredible Hulk just gnashing shit in your hair.
Could kill you.
That's the point. It's
Yeah.
at that point, you want to die.
I think E.T.'s the way to go on this one.
If you've got E.T. with his little light bulb finger in you, imagine what he could learn from you just from touch.
Yeah. You can skip all the other exams.
And that kind of is a ripoff of what Roger did to Stan Smith in an episode of American Dad, which you haven't seen, which you should watch more of.
I think I've seen that one.
Oh, in the hot tub?
Yeah, I don't know. It was a long time ago.
Okay. So you're going E.T.?
Where are you going? Yeah, I'm going
I'm going to go Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, it could kill you.
I'd rather be dead than have to tell people that an alien stuck his long, wiry, leather-like fingers up my shithole.
So you're saying if you got, honest to God, abducted one day and they anally probed you, you would just not tell anybody about it?
What's there to tell? Dead men tell no tales. You know what? The numbering's off. Fuck. Would you rather bathe in a tub of diarrhea or be forced to take a 10-minute shower in afterbirth?
Oh.
It's just raining down placental tissue and goo all over you. Babies piss and shit in that. So either way, there's a little bit of poo involved in this.
Whose diarrhea is it?
Does it fucking matter? It's diarrhea.
Yeah, you can
This isn't like the
diseases from other people's.
This isn't like the shot glass of cum versus the gallon of piss, which were both yours. This is just diarrhea. All right, so if it's your diarrhea, like we've talked about numerous times now, you can't get Hep A from your own shit, but it's still diarrhea.
Yeah, it's still disgusting.
It's still a warm bath of stinky cocoa.
But I'd
thunder.
have to say that it'd be less disgusting if it was yours. Don't get me wrong, they're both terrible. I'd rather be my own shit than somebody else's.
I think I'd try the afterbirth, just to know what it's like. It's like, maybe you have a flashback.
It's like probably like period blood, dude.
Why would there be period blood in afterbirth?
Because it's afterbirth.
They don't have periods when they're pregnant. They might spot a little, but I mean, that's all coming out of their uterus.
Yeah.
That's the placental sac.
I don't know.
It's segregated from all the menses. They don't hang out together.
No, yeah, I know.
I should go on like fucking Dr. Ruth's show or something, or Dr. Oz. And
I didn't say it was. I said it's like.
And this is...
Actually, I said, what if it was like?
And period blood doesn't really scare me. I've got my red badge of courage.
Yeah, your Red Wings.
I've gotten down there. I've never gotten any fucking blood on my face. I had like a red Pringles man mustache. Or like those weird Captain Morgan ads.
Huh?
The Captain Morgan ads where like they draw the little goatee and the mustache and the blood.
Sure.
This last one I did just for you because you hate both these people so much. Would you rather eat chocolate pudding out of Obama's ass or cherry pie out of Hillary's vagina?
Oh, Christ, that's a good one.
I want you to really think about this because it's chocolate pudding, so it masks the taste of ass. And it's cherry pie, and although it masks the taste of her rotten cooter, at least it's the same color that it reminds you of what you're doing.
Yeah.
Just like the pudding reminds you that you're eating out of shithole.
I'd have to go with the cherry.
What if Obama added a dollop of Cool Whip?
No.
Do you like Cool Whip?
No.
No? I figured that would just be the ultimate icing on the cake.
Which one you pick?
Oh, I'm taking the cherry pie. Because I like chocolate pudding, but I think Obama's made us eat his ass for the last 8 years. Quite enough.
Yes.
And maybe if you eat Hillary's box out, she'll settle down, and then she'll just saunter off and give somebody else a chance to cripple America.
She should be going to jail.
Well, we'll see, won't we? On that short, skinny, fat dick thing, and this is a thought I had today at work.
See? You thought about dicks at work.
Well, I thought about like that scene in the final season of Sons of Anarchy. Have you watched it?
Yes.
Okay, so if you have not yet seen the final season of Sons of Anarchy,
Spoiler alert!
Juice gets raped anally by Marilyn Manson's character, Ron Tully. And then later on he gets raped again by some Asian gangbangers. It just made me think, I'm like, if you're going to get raped in prison, you probably want it to be the Asian guys.
Right.
Because their dicks are small. You know the black guys are packing, so that's not a good day for you or a week. Because you're probably just going to hang out in the infirmary and then weep. Because every time you fart, there's an intense stabbing pain everywhere inside of you.
Thinking about like gay stuff at work.
My mind thinks about dirty stuff all the time. Just like I got a massage once. The first time I ever went to an actual masseuse. And then they were like, okay, now flip over on your stomach. And I went to put my face in the headrest. Oh, my God. You know what that looks like? That looks like a Muppet vagina. Like, I imagine that's what Miss Piggy's vagina would look like.
That's weird.
Do you want to try to come up with one?
I've been trying to come up with one, but
I've come up with, like, how many did I do last time? 5 or 6? And this time I came up with 8?
Yeah. Well, that's your thing.
It's
Maybe we should talk about getting you steps closer to an open mic night.
Ooh. Perhaps.
What needs to be done?
More material
How do
that
you get more
flows.
Material? How do you work out more material?
I basically just take a story of my life and then I tell it, and then I have to wait for the best parts to sneak in the punchlines. It's all about timing. I've studied comedy for years. The timing and things that are good are jokes that reference other jokes. That's why inside jokes that keep repeating on certain television shows make you go, oh, yay, or a joke later in the episode that referenced one in the beginning. Family Guy's great at that shit.
So you need to do more cool shit besides go to work.
Maybe. I mean, my kids are like comedy gold.
Right.
Like today.
That's clean comedy, though.
No, it's not. Today, the little one had like a earth-shattering diarrhea.
Oh.
I gagged. It smelled like she might be ill.
Oh, no.
And
Sound
then-
like that virus.
Yes, it smelled like the Zika virus. I
That's
went
it?
somewhere and I'm like, I need you to let me know what Zika is like. What are the telltale signs? Here, smell this. Like it's a fucking Scentsy candle? Come on, Jesus Christ.
What is that anyway? I haven't cared to look into it.
The Zika virus is some other way that the earth is trying to kill us, and it's bloodborne by mosquitoes. So when they bite you, you get the virus, and then there's like it's like an intense flu for guys. But if you're pregnant with women, it can complicate pregnancy.
Mm-hmm.
So they're warning women, don't go to these countries that have these outbreaks right now. Or if you live in these countries, they said until a vaccine's available. So try to put off pregnancy until 2018. Just keep your knees together for 2 years or something.
I think Mother Earth is on the same game plan as you.
It might be, but what it does to pregnant broads is the fetuses are being born with microcephalus or microcephaly. So what that means is they're born with tiny skulls and their eyes are like super bulgy because they're too big. Like imagine the back of your head is 1/3 of the diameter.
So this
And it's like
virus
crushing their brains.
is mutating genes, basically.
What's causing developmental birth defects, yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
Mother Earth is getting ready to knock us down a notch, I think.
Well, she didn't do it so well with the bird flu or the swine flu.
No, but she's done it before.
Well, that's all I really have. Somehow we've worked almost into an hour
Good.
worth of comedy.
Not bad.
And they're going to thank us for this one.
Are they?
After 3 serious episodes, someone's going to go, oh, God, finally something to laugh about. But you know what? You need to respect the serious because we like to tackle those hard-hitting issues. Anyway, so this is episode 16. You should go to our YouTube channel, What Do We Call It Podcast. You should go to Facebook at facebook.com/groups/What Do We Call It Podcast.
Search us on Twitter
At WDWCI Podcast.
and on Spreaker. Just search What Do We Call It Podcast.
Blogspot, what's it with the Podomatic and the Blogspot, the thing there.
Blogspot, we're gonna actually kind of use that as a homepage because it's gonna have it's got all the links on it. So
Right.
if you go to What Do We Call It Podcast.blogspot.com, that's where you can find all that stuff.
Oh, and if you've been shutting the show off once we get to mentioning where to find the show, you're missing out. That sometimes we're sneaking in little jokes at the end once the outro music starts. So maybe listen. Fuck your face.
Huh.
Not you personally, just in general. So, I'm Jmann,
I'm Danny.
and that's the end.